We'll look into some of the other matches that we'll see because we're going to match them up on the UTR. What is the Universal Tennis Rating? We've been talking about it. It ranks professional, college, junior, and recreational players on the same system from results from your most recent 30 matches. It's margin of victory or loss. Defeating a higher ranked player is good for you, and not losing to lower ranked players, and that makes sense
helps,
as well.
right?
Yeah, you can register at myutr.com. So let's look at a couple of matches coming at us tomorrow. Frances Tiafoe taking on Duty Sela. These guys are ranked very closely in the rankings, 98 and 100, and lo and behold, their UTRs very close.
Very close. And it's amazing in UTR, you go into the hundreds, right? And it's just, they're so right on most of the time. And the 3-month UTR is so important as well because it really shows a player's confidence. Frances, by all intents and purposes, has kind of had a slow start as well. Another American coming into New York, he was 1-4. So interesting matchup there. Duty Sela is always a tough customer. Frances, boy, he eked out that first round against Sebi Korda the other night. He lost the first set, and remember, we called that match. Can you imagine Frances? He's 20 years old, and now all of a sudden he's got this 17-year-old who's younger than he is. For the first time, he's going out there, and he's the older guy. That's a different pressure and a tough pressure.
Yeah.
He gets to face an older and shorter opponent this time.
Sometimes that's easier for certain players not to play a countryman or woman against each other. But Frances handled it well after a little bit of a shaky start the other night.
All right, and the other thing that UTR will do sometimes is you'll see players who are ranked fairly far apart in the ATP rankings, closer than you think in the UTR. That's what we see with Ryan Harrison and Ivo Karlovic. 45 points, 45 ranking spots separate them, but their UTRs are microscopically close.
Well, that's what is so great about UTR. If you go on the ranking system, it's 52 weeks, and you're talking about players have rankings from tournaments played 51 weeks ago, 50 weeks ago, and with the UTR, you can really dial in on a player who's been hot, who is playing well, and right here you can see with Karlovic, he's not that far off Ryan Harrison, even though their rankings, as you said, 45 points off, but the last 30 matches, Karlovic has picked up his level.
I really love the UTR. It's something that we can use in all facets of tennis. They use it in junior tennis, college tennis. Boy, is it used wisely, and it's so important to rank these players across the country that don't always play against each other. And then I think it's great internationally as well. If they're a man or a woman, doesn't know who's hitting that ball. They just take your matches into account. And whether you're traveling, it's always very, very useful to find a partner.
Yeah, I was going to say for the amateurs especially, if you go on vacation and you want a match of a similar level, you can log in and see another player who's somewhere near you and be able to play somebody. It's always tough in tennis. If you play someone too good or too bad, it's not really that enjoyable. UTR is there to try and make it easier for all levels of all players.
Yeah, and that's why set score matters as well, because if you play someone close, you're still going to be close with them in UTR, even though...
You get some credit for that.
Yeah, you'll get a little bit of credit for playing a tight match instead of just moving on in the event and suddenly you feel like, you're a chump, but you're not. Your UTR kind of hangs. I would think for college recruiting, it's huge. Because it's impossible to see all the players.
Yeah, I've been through that. And players know that they have to be at a certain UTR to get recruited for Division III, a certain UTR to get for Division I. And believe me, those juniors are really playing for those UTR points.
Yeah, they sort of take a lot of the guesswork out of it for everyone with the UTR. Not so much when we come back. It's all about the guesswork because it's a tough call.
Okay.
You guys got to get your stuff together.
Come on, Liz.
All right, it's Roger and Rafa. It's always Roger and Rafa, and it's always a tough call. But this is a little bit of a different question when we come back. Tennis Channel Live.